Good Sunday afternoon, Razorback Nation. We are back with your Sunday Razor recap here on this Sunday afternoon. Much better weather today. We are brought to you by our friends over at Razor Pigs. Looking good, never felt so fun. Razor Pigs is the Arkansas-born brand, bringing some serious style to the golf course, tailgate, and everywhere in between. From high-quality polos to head-turn hats, they've got what you need to rep the natural state with pride. And right here at home, and now run by Razorback loving family, Razor Pigs is where comfort meets cool. So go hog wild and shop Razor Pigs today at razorpigs.us. And our friends over at Scarlet Letter, Arkansas's very own handcrafted spiked seltzer. You can check them out today. And if you are in Northwest Arkansas, check out the Core Brewery Tap Room, where you can get Scarlet Letter and all the flavors. Like I said, Sunday afternoon, much better weather today than what we've had Friday, Saturday, and this weekend. It's nice weather at the ballpark, and we'll get into that a little bit. But how are you doing, Zane?
Doing good. Had a lot better weather. Was much more enjoyable in I believe it was Friday night. I was up till about 1:30, kind of keeping on weather, making sure everything was fine. So, didn't really love that, but definitely prefer the weather that's outside right now. Planning to get out there a little bit later. So, how about you?
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, it was a nice day at the ballpark today compared to yesterday. Yesterday was a tad bit chilly, but nice weather today. And we'll have Hobbs join us here in a little bit, but we'll go ahead and dive into some Arkansas basketball talk. As per the title of the episode, Arkansas came in clutch in their win in Columbia yesterday to round out the regular season with a victory. And I think the biggest storyline of this game was no Darius Acuff, sitting him to rest up that ankle and get him ready for conference tournament time and postseason play. So that kind of was the big storyline. The announcers like to, key in on for this game. And, it took overtime to get the victory, but you had some guys step up yesterday. Malik Thomas stepping up big in this game. Brazil in his final return to Columbia of his college career had some key shots down the stretch. Even Malik Ewan playing some key minutes and making some key plays late into overtime to kind of get things sealed up for Arkansas.
Yeah, it was really good to see. As much as I hate to say it, it may actually hurt Acuff's most valuable player in the SEC if they're able to still go out and win a game without him. But no, I mean they really picked up where they needed to. Looking at the box score, they had Malik and Wagner both with 45 minutes, Brazil 44. So they were gassed. But hey, I've been saying ever since 5 or 6 games ago, let Wagner get these extended minutes and get that confidence up, and he definitely is delivering. So, he looked good. Threes weren't falling like they were last game for him, but no, it was a great team game. And, you had to know that Doug Shows wasn't going to let the game not go into overtime or us lose handedly. No way we were going to win in regulation with him reffing us.
100%. And yeah, the big thing was, Malik Thomas stepping up. We've seen his game get better and better as the season went on. And, this was a marquee game for him, if you will, because, he's the focal point. All through the game, you could tell the offense was running through Thomas. He finished the day 28 points, 9 of 22 from the field. So you kind of seen him, not replace, but kind of take up that Acuff role with leading in shots taken. Finished the game 5 of 6 from deep. He was just on from out beyond the arc, shot 5 of 6 from the line. Gave you 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and again, that 45 minutes of play. And I mean, this is what we've been kind of waiting for from Thomas, and I think having this type of game now, right as you're getting ready to go into tournament time, is, it's lining up perfectly.
Yeah, and, you could definitely tell that, there were maybe a few shots he was forcing. But kind of, with that burden of kind of being the go-to guy on the offense may have got to him where, there were a few of those shots where normally he's kind of worked away from taking some of these forced shots, but with that pressure, I think he kind of forced a few of those. Didn't really force any threes. I mean, he was on fire from there. So, but no, it was good to see him step in. And, I kind of told you about that before the show started. I think that's only going to help come March because obviously we're going to be leaning on Acuff. But if there's a game where he's struggling or if they have someone who can lock him down, they showed that they can go on the road and beat a tournament team without him. So it's only going to help. If anything, it's going to take less pressure off of Acuff and let him just play more in the flow of things. Because I feel like there have been a few times where he's kind of been the only guy hitting shots. He's had to kind of force things. But yeah, it was great to see from everyone. You saw some freshman development stuff from Celia at the end of the first half there, which I think kind of eliminated kind of the playing time for him that second half up until we need him with foul trouble. But that's gonna happen when he's not playing every game. So that's one of those where, seeing how he stepped in there at the end of the first half with some foul trouble and seeing kind of a couple moments there where he kind of struggled, it's kind of like, oh well, would have been nice to give him a few minutes, earlier in the season maybe to kind of work through some of those. But hey, hindsight's 2020. So
yeah. And then, coming up big, Thomas leading the scorer, but then you have Brazil, your second leading scorer, 19 points, kind of showed out a little bit in his return to Colombia. But I think you're starting to see with the combination of his midweek game against Texas on senior night and Bud, and then this game, it feels like you're starting to get back and see, March TB again. 19 points in this one, 8 of 14 from the field, 2 of 4 from deep, with one of those being a really clutch three late in the game.
That he pointed to the Missouri bench shafter, which I loved.
Yep, 100%. 1 of 3 from the line, 9 rebounds. So, 1 rebound shy of a double-double, gives you 1 assist in 44 minutes. So, Brazil, in his college career in terms of regular season where he got his start and, it's like somebody said the Mizzou fans should have picked somebody else to pick on because TB wasn't the right one because he'll make you pay.
Yeah, for sure. And going back to Thomas with the 22 shot attempts, that's the most he's had this season. He had a game earlier this year against Winthrop with 20, and then he had, I think, 4 games with 17 shot attempts. So you saw him definitely shoot the ball more than he has this season, and I think that kind of was reflected in a couple of those shots where it's like, okay, maybe that wasn't the best shot we could have taken. But, I think Brazil definitely, A, the senior leadership on the road showed up. B, I think it was kind of nice for him as well to do it at Mizzou. So,
right. And then your third leading scorer stepped up today too, Malik Ewan, 17 points for him. Kind of what we've got used to seeing middle of the season before he went on a little stretch of not looking too great. 6 of 12 from the field for him, 1 of 1 from 3. So he is now shooting 75% from 3 on the season, going 3 of 4 throughout.
And that is the exact reason there's always an asterisk among qualified shooters on the 3-point stat.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
4 of 7 from the line, 9 rebounds with 3 fouls in 31 minutes. And, a couple of those rebounds came big in overtime off of his own missed free throw or other missed free throws to kind of push Arkansas ahead late in the game, and we talked about that Brazil 3. That was kind of at the point in overtime where Arkansas took that lead back and just didn't look back.
Yeah. I want to acknowledge on Ewan. He hit the 4 super clutch free throws there down the stretch when you needed them. So
right.
I know he had missed a couple before that, but then he came back and hit those last 4, and it was really kind of a stressful moment there. So that was definitely a ice in the veins type moment for him. So that was definitely good to see.
100%. And then you mentioned DJ, 10 points on the day, got the start in place for Acuff, 4 of 10 from the field, 0 of 4 from deep, like you mentioned. The three not falling this game, but that's okay for DJ. Keep shooting them because when he catches on fire, it's always good. 2 of
You
4
saw
from
that
the line.
against Texas, the 3 of 4 from 3. So I mean,
Right, he comes
the
in
game
and
before he was 3 of 4. This game 0 of 4. It's fine. It's one of those you can't let it bother you not to shoot moving forward because
right,
the
and
only
it
way
just
you're going to
shows he's
shoot out of
coming
a
out with
streak
confidence
or out of a
too.
slump is to keep shooting.
Right. And you want a guy like DJ playing with confidence right now, especially going in this time of the year. He gave you 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 assists as well in 45 minutes. Like we mentioned, one of 3 guys to play 40 plus minutes. And then 2 guys that fouled out, Nick Pringle and Billy Richmond. Billy finished with 10 points, 4 of 7 from the field, 0 of 1 from deep, 2 of 2 from the line. Gave you 6 rebounds, 4 assists in 39 minutes. And then Pringle gave you 4 points, 2 of 2 from the field, no rebounds, no assists in 16 minutes. So still getting the start, but then almost, for majority of the rest of the game, taking the back seat to Ewan and giving him some pretty much breaks whenever he needs it. But, overall, this is a great win for this team, especially doing it without Acuff because we know Acuff needed all the rest he can get. So, after Wednesday now he'll have about a week and a half of not playing and getting that ankle rested up.
A 9-day rest. So that's good.
Yeah. So we wrapped up conference play. Seeds are set. Arkansas did finalize as the 3 seed, as you didn't have Auburn be able to get the upset of Alabama to jump you over that mark. But so as that is wrapped up, the stage is set for the conference tournament. And as we see here, conference tournament will begin on Wednesday with the lower seed games. As you can see, Arkansas on the bottom side of that bracket in the 3 seed with a double bye. And if you kind of look at our path here, South Carolina, Oklahoma on opening day, winner plays A&M, and then you play the winner of A&M versus either Oklahoma, South Carolina. None of those games really scare me. We've seen all these teams.
A&M style, they can have big games where they can upset people, but they also
they just went to 3 overtime with LSU, so
their defensive philosophy is to cause pressure and make your guards turn the ball over. With Acuff playing, they weren't really too effective at that.
I was about to say, what does Arkansas guards do? Not turn the ball over. So
yeah. And I will say that was one weakness you did see yesterday. We had, I think it was 11 turnovers. So that's where we were missing Acuff. But obviously he should be back for this. I don't see any reason he wouldn't be playing. Should be fine.
Yeah. And then so you look at part of the other bracket. So, good thing for Arkansas, you wouldn't see Florida unless you make it to the final game, championship game. It'd be interesting to see a rematch with Alabama on a neutral site where you get another crack at them. Their path, not too difficult for them. So more than likely that's who you'll see. Ole Miss, Texas plays the winner of Georgia, and then the winner of that game will go into play Alabama. You look at the top side of that bracket, Mississippi State, Auburn, opening round, winner plays Tennessee, and then the winner of that game will go into play Vandy. So you could have a Tennessee-Vandy rematch just from this past Saturday. So, and then top side of there, Florida, of course, Kentucky and LSU, first game of the SEC tournament as a whole at 11:30 on Wednesday. Winner of that game will play Missouri.
Someone saying that Kentucky must really be the brand because they get the first game of the SEC tournament.
Exactly. But that winner will take on Missouri to go on against Florida. Barring anything crazy, I mean, it is March at this point. Barring anything crazy, you'll probably see Florida versus somebody in that semifinal game to move on to that championship game. So,
I do think that Georgia's philosophy and their style could upset Bama, or at least make things difficult for them. So, I mean, if you're looking at, quote, upsets in a conference tournament right now, I think that is one that you could look at. Missouri does have the size to at least compete with Florida, but I just don't know if they have enough to do that. So, yeah, I would expect Florida, Tennessee, Bama, Arkansas in that Final Four there. So,
yeah, it'd be interesting to also be able to get another crack at Georgia if that were the case too, just because
yeah.
I think we've made a lot of improvements and strides since we played them on the road earlier in the season. So,
And that was one of those you start off down 15 right off the bat. That was one of those that was super hard.
right.
So, yeah, I would love another crack at either one of those two teams.
Right. But at the end of the day, too, you got to win that other game. But,
Yeah.
if we get to that point and, it's not in the cards for Arkansas, I think that's fine. Play one game and then get ready for March.
I'm not fully against, not choking, but I'm not fully against showing up poorly in the SEC. Not maybe not poorly. Let me make that. I'm not against avoiding a deep run in the SEC tournament and get that rest for them. So at this point, I have a hard time seeing them drop us to a 6. I don't know if we'll do enough to get up to a 4. At that point, 4 or 5, I'm whatever. I think we're kind of squarely in as a 5. So at that point, I would favor rest over almost everything else.
Right. It's like you're not going to push yourself too crazy hard just to make a run in the conference tournament. If it happens to work out, great. If it's not,
Now, if you're a smaller conference team that's a one-bid league, that's different.
Right.
With the way the SEC is, though, I'm not prioritizing a deep run. If I watch Friday night and we end up losing to A&M by 4 or 5, I'm not upset too much, not freaking out. It's okay, cool, extra day rest. So, but
right,
that's just me.
And yeah, and better late than never. We have Hawgs joining us now, talking some conference tournament times. What's your thoughts on how the final bracket for the SEC tournament shook out?
You know how I feel about conference tournaments in every sport. I think they're pointless, and they only benefit those teams on the far left side of this bracket. That's the only benefit of the bracket. It can hurt.
Yeah, get you an A&M from a couple of years ago, makes a run.
Exactly. So I think we got a good draw. I think, we'll see who they, what they do as far as resting A-Cup. I would imagine they will. But we'll see. I mean, we don't play until Friday, which is like, what, 6
I would expect him to be back.
I'd expect A-Cup to play.
He might be right. So
I don't expect to see him play the entire game. I expect to see him get a good amount of rest.
You don't want to be in another one of those double overtimes at Alabama before we go to the NCAA tournament, if you know what I mean. That's what I don't.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. So
I was about to say, I'm sure Cal would have his hands full too if he tried to set A-Cup another game the way he doesn't like to miss any games anyway. So,
you could tell yesterday he was like, I want out there right now.
I don't even think I ever saw him sitting down. It looked like he's standing up the whole time.
Oh, no, they was on the broadcast. He was the most vocal and active assistant coach for Cal yesterday.
Yeah. So, yeah.
It's not exactly resting that ankle too much.
But yeah, so conference tournament gets kicked off Wednesday at 11:30 with the first game, LSU and Kentucky. And Arkansas will not play until Friday night, facing the winner of Texas A&M and against the winner of South Carolina, Oklahoma. So nice days.
Like 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock.
Yeah, 9:30 or 8:30.
Golly.
Hey, just look at it this way, Hobbs. Once Arkansas baseball wraps up, you can just flip over to Arkansas basketball.
Oh, yeah, that's a joy right now, too. Thank you so much.
So if you can't tell everyone, Hobbs is, I think, overreacting to today's game and avoiding the first 2 games of the series.
No, it's the fact that we did what we did in the first 2 games and they came out there and played like that today was extremely
crazy. But before we get to baseball real fast, we do have 4 tickets.
You were there. You tell me.
So There's currently 4 teams that have tickets punched. That's Tennessee State,
Right.
Northern Iowa, High Point, and Queens. And I'll be sure to keep everyone updated as more teams get tickets punched, and you start seeing these.
Those are all teams that were really supposed to just get automatic bids. It ain't no at larges have been stolen yet.
Well,
right?
Queens was not supposed to get in. UCA was supposed to, and they upset UCA to get in, but there's no bids really being stolen right now. The closest one would be, I believe, Northern Iowa. Belmont, I believe, was expected to get in at 25-6, but since they lost, their net ranking has plummeted down to like 63. So I don't think Belmont's going to be getting an at large.
No, I don't think so.
So yeah, but that would be the closest potential bid steal we've had so far. Again, there's only 4. There's still 27 conference tournaments left to play. So plenty of that to shake out. But right now, Belmont would probably be the biggest one. And that's one of those where I don't see Belmont getting in right now.
Yeah.
So they were, I think they were up to like 51 though, and then they dropped down to like 63. So
yeah. Before we jump over to baseball, did you guys watch that exciting game Friday night between Miami of Ohio and Ohio going into overtime?
I saw Miami Ohio's reaction at the end of the game.
Exactly.
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah. So, yeah, I definitely saw that, and it piled on to what I already thought about Miami, Ohio, and I don't think he's going to be doing that here in a little soon. So,
well, the real question now is going to be: does a team that went 31-0 in the regular season get left out if they don't win their conference tournament? That's if. But
I don't know.
I mean, it'll be interesting. I don't know. I think that you see where they're ranked on everything. I haven't seen today's bracketology yet, so I don't know what seed they're currently listed as.
Yeah.
But I think they were like an 11 before. So if you start getting these mid-majors in the 10 to 12 range, you're looking at potential get in as a at-large as well, because that's kind of the range that your last 4 in will be. Now, if you start talking there 13 to 16, that's pretty much exclusively your automatic qualifiers for smaller conferences. But your 10 to 12 range, if you have mid-majors in there, those are your best mid-majors to not get an automatic qualifier, or a team that should be in regardless. Kind of just based on that seeding philosophy, how it's shaping out to be.
Right. So
I think they would still get in if they don't win their conference tournament. Depends how badly they lose and to who in that conference.
Yeah, if their conference tournament lines up to anything like most normal conference tournaments, they'll have that double bye and then, await, whoever makes it that far.
Actually, it doesn't look like that. It looks like they just have 8 teams in a quarterfinal in the MAC. So they'll play UMass Thursday.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the only team I think if Akron or Kent State beat them in the championship game, you still see Miami, Ohio make it. If they lose to UMass, who's 16-15 right now, first game of the tournament, I have a hard time seeing them not fall enough to drop out of that last 4 in range.
Right. So, hey, and next Sunday is going to be fun because we'll have our Selection Sunday show along with our regular episode. So it's going to be a fun show like we did last year, watching along, as it will start at 5 o'clock as well. So we'll be watching along and seeing who gets in, where Arkansas is going to land, and all the location matchups for the first round as well. So be on the lookout with that. But with that, we'll jump over to some Arkansas baseball, as they're 3 games into the 4-game series with Stetson. Friday, Arkansas gets the win 7-1. With Gabe Gackel getting the start in this one. 6 innings for him, 5 hits allowed, 5 hits, no runs, no earned runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts on 99 pitches against 25 batters. Then in relief, you had Parker Coyle come in for an inning, 2 hits, 1 run, 8 coming earned, 3 strikeouts against 5 batters on 21 pitches. Mark Brissy comes in for an inning, faces 4 batters on 14 pitches, and Jackson Kircher 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts against 5 batters on 23 pitches.
Yeah, I mean, it's what you expect out of your Friday guys. So
I'm a little surprised they didn't go with the normal Geckel-Gibbler combo, though.
Yeah, they were talking about that on the radio that game, and I'm not exactly sure. I think they were like, well, it was already, 7-0, so maybe
that's part of the reason why, yeah. That was probably why, and, we ended up needing Gibler today, and so, but yeah, I mean, it's good to see the Friday night guy really have one of his best starts this year, and despite people thinking that Gackel was struggling this year, his ERA's in the 2s now, so he's really had a good start of the year. And it was good to see Brissy pitch on the weekend. So, yeah.
Yeah, it very much seems like they're priming him up to, fit into a somewhat of a closing role this season. If he can come out and, show this stuff week in and week out, come in and just get outs, that's what you need. So,
yeah. He can be that guy. So, because we're going to be playing a lot more tighter games down the road than what we're playing now. So we're going to need every bit of it back end bullpen.
Yeah. Offensively, Arkansas continued on Friday to, what they got going, 7-1. Ryder Helfrich, 2 of 4 at the plate, scores a run, scores an RBI, walks once. Camden Kojal, 2 of 5, 1 run scored, 2 RBIs for him. Kahil Aloy, 2 of 4, 1 run scored, an RBI and a walk for him. That heart of that order right there, kind of your guys that have been, the key part of this lineup, continuing to do their things. And then you drop down a little bit lower, that bottom half of the lineup, at least for a Friday, it was pretty active as well. Micah New, 1 for 3, 2 runs scored, RBI and a walk for him. Reese Robinette, 1 for 3 with a run scored and a walk. And then TJ Pompey playing third, 2 for 3, 1 run scored, 1 RBI, 1 walk. And then even Carson Brumbaugh, 1 of 3 with an RBI scored as well. So all your guys doing pretty well in the Friday game.
Yeah, they did. They did pretty good, and it's good to see the bottom lineup produce. They're going to have to for us to win games.
Yeah. And, the one surprise there was Zach Stewart going 0 of 3, but, that didn't last long. And as you went into yesterday's game and as we transition over, Arkansas wins yesterday 13-1. Hunter Dietz gets the start in this one, and he just continues to look better and better. The more starts and innings he gets under his belt. 6 innings in this one, 4 hits allowed, 1 run. It was not earned. 12 strikeouts for him on 91 pitches, faced 23 batters, and sits at a 2.84 ERA with Cooper Dossett closing things out with a final inning, as this was a run rule game. Comes in, final inning, 1 strikeout, 3 batters faced on 19 pitches.
Yeah, I mean, even Stetson coach said after the game, that's probably the best pitcher he's ever seen before. So, I mean, he's getting better and better, and, I'm excited to see what he's going to do against an SEC team. I can't wait because I think he's the real deal. And, if it wasn't for Gabe Gackel being, 3-year guy that's been healthy, I think Dietz should be the Friday guy, honestly.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's like I think a lot of people, got worried initially with that opening weekend game, but it's like we said, you got to give him some time. You got to remember, even though he's been here a couple of seasons already, those have been injury plagued, and he hasn't got to play much. He's just now kind of getting into his groove, getting some experience and some innings under his belt, and you've seen it game to game that he's just gotten better and better. Really feeling more comfortable out there. And, he keeps just coming out there and having these great performances, like, 12 strikeouts yesterday. That's not just something you can casually come out and do. That's talent and, all of his experience and hard work finally coming together.
Yeah, I think he had 8 or 9 last weekend.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's really turning the corner, and he's commanding that breaking ball now. So, and when he's doing that, man, with his fastball and cutter runs, he's hard to hit. So like I said, I'm interested to see what he's going to do against a Mississippi State lineup that's all hitting above 300 and probably got 4 or 5 guys hitting over 400.
Yeah. And so you jump over to the offensive side of things. Damian Reed, your leadoff guy, continues to perform well. Scored a run in this game, an RBI, takes a walk. Camden Kojal continues to do things. Man is hitting over 400 on the season so far. In yesterday's game, goes 3 of 4, 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs, and a walk, and just continues to, be Arkansas's honestly best player at this point, and in terms of offense and what he can do at the plate. Ryder Helfrich, 0 of 2 yesterday, scores a run, scores an RBI, draws 2 walks, and then the harder order here starts looking good. Zach Stewart yesterday, 2 of 2, runs scored, hitting over 400, 423, but did have a little injury scare yesterday, sat out today, won't play tomorrow. Dave said he expects him to just being very cautious with him, expects him to be back to full practice on Wednesday and being ready for Friday, but he's a guy that you want to miss a ton. But coming in to replace him, you had Carter Rutenbar, 1 for 2 yesterday, scored a run. He did draw the start today in right field, so your backup catcher, but also playing in right as well, getting experience. Dave said on the pregame show today that he is a guy that he just, his reputation coming out of high school is he just hits the ball. He drew some walks today, was very good at the plate. So, he's a guy to expect to fight for some more playing time. But back to yesterday's game, Kehoe 0 for 2 in this one, scores a run, 2 RBIs, 2 walks. So great at bats. These guys, really seeing these pitches, taking these walks and working up these counts. Reese Robinette 1 for 3, 2 runs scored, also draws a walk. Nolan Suzo 2 for 3, 1 run scored, 3 RBIs, draws a walk as well. Pompey 0 for 3, but draws a walk. So, everybody's seeing the plate well yesterday, drawing these walks, working these pitchers into, full counts.
Yeah, and I knew Stewart when I saw him hit the bag like that. I knew he had tweaked or pulled something. So I was over there, saying words I can't repeat here because this is not a guy that we really don't need to lose. So hopefully it's not serious and he is back healthy against Mississippi State. But I'll take a positive out of this is Rutenbar has really had some really good at bats. I mean, he's having, like Dave Van Horn said today, better at bats than some of the guys that's been in the program for years. So he may have found a guy that he can trust to play in case we do have some injury because he looks good up there.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw him getting the start today in right field, I was like, okay, that's where we're going with this. We're not starting a Loy and DNH in somebody, but okay, here we go. It's getting the freshman starting in right field.
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason why you saw that too is because Aloy dropped a fly ball that he should have caught yesterday. So
I was about to say I was at the game yesterday, and I was right there by where Aloy dropped that ball. Tracked it well, had his glove on it. Should have caught the ball.
Yes, absolutely. And it almost ricocheted over the fence, and that would have been really bad.
I was about to say, and to your point, after that dropped ball, you had Aloy have some certain words that we can't repeat on here as well after that you could hear him be very upset with himself. So
yeah. And I really think that he probably just needs to be DH right now so he can stop getting his head in the field because we need his bat nobody's business. I mean, he's only gotten – I know he's hitting the high 380 mark or whatnot, but he's only hit 3 home runs. We need him to come through.
100%. So then you jump over to today's game where not quite like these past two we talked about.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to talk about here.
Yeah, unfortunately, Arkansas drops today's game 4-1. Colin Fisher getting the start in this one. And, par for the course. I mean, as well as Fisher's performed this year, it was almost like he was due up still not a bad game, but, not his best this season. He only goes 4 innings this one, 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 of those runs earned, 0 walks, 4 strikeouts, faced 18 batters on 69 pitches, sitting at a 1.17 ERA now. As we know beforehand, had a 0 ERA. So got hit up a little bit in this game, and they got after him quickly in this game. Then you had Gibbler come in relief for 3 innings. He comes in 3 innings, no hits, no runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, faced 12 batters on 45 pitches. And then McAvane closed things out today with 2 innings, 1 hit allowed, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts for him against 8 batters on 28 pitches.
Yeah, I mean, the defense didn't help Fisher out whatsoever. It was just, I don't know. Our freshman shortstop had been playing really good in the field. Got a day off yesterday, came back in today, and he was just not making the plays he normally does, and it was just not going our way. So very frustrating to see that. But yeah, I mean, Fisher gave up the 2 home runs. It really hurt. And 0-2 is 0-2 count to when he got hit the 3-run homer, and he just screwed the breaking ball right down the middle. And Dave Van Horn said it was supposed to go in the dirt. So when you do that on 0-2 count, they're going to get a hold of it. So
right,
just it's the way it goes. But once again, you got to score. You just got to score more than 4 runs on a Sunday. You just can't. You can't have that happen.
Yeah, and to your point, Brumbaugh, 2 errors today, which is uncharacteristic of him, and that's why I think you saw after that compared with going 0 for 2 at the plate and hitting into a double play, you saw him get pulled at the end of the game and get Pompey put in the game to finish out things at short. So, this could be one of those things where if, I don't know if he's getting in his head a little bit, like to your point, got a day off yesterday, coming back today. I don't know if he got thrown off his rhythm or what, but, now's not the time to start making mistakes as you're getting ready to go into conference play next weekend. So, offensively, the things were just not going well today for this team. It's like somebody mentioned at the game, it was like the pitchers that they threw today, very similar to the pitchers that Arkansas struggled with and that lost Arkansas State. Very similar pitch styles and pitches that Arkansas struggled with. You look at the lineup today, I mean, you had guys getting hit, but we just couldn't push guys across the plate. You had Ruiz go 2 for 4 today, scoring a run. Arkansas's only run scored. He had a double. You had Helfrich going 0 for 2. So, Helfrich struggled today, drew 2 walks, but, also hit into some flyouts as well. Kojal, 1 for 4. He did not knock in Ruiz with an RBI, but with his double. Loy 0 for 4. A lot of offers today. Robinette 0 for 4. Micah New, one of the, at least you can see that he's still making contact and hitting the ball well. 2 for 4 for him, as well as a stolen base. Souza 0 for 3. Rutenbar 0 for 1, but he also drew 3 walks. So I'm fine with him going 0 for 1 if he's drawing 3 walks, seeing the ball really well. Brumbaugh, as we'd already talked about, 0 for 2 at the plate, hitting to a double play, those 2 errors, and then eventually got pulled. Turner pinch hit for him and drew a walk. And then Pompey came in 0 for 1 and, had the strikeout that kind of finalized things for Arkansas today in the 9th inning. So, hopefully Arkansas can bounce back tomorrow, but, not a loss you want to see going into conference play, your last non-conference series here. Other SEC teams are losing, but still, you just got to come out and perform better. When days that your pitching may not be at its best, that's where your guys got to step up at the plate. And, that wasn't the case today.
No, and they're just not, and a lot of people want to blame coaching and stuff, but at some point the players have to step up and produce. They got to take responsibility on themselves to be better. Cause they're out there, the coaches are out there trying to help these guys. And you can tell Dave Van Horn has really gotten really frustrated with the left side of the infield. They have not performed. This is one of the worst performances I've seen in a long time. All three, and I'm talking about Pompey here, Brumbaugh, and Souza, I think are all hitting under 200, and that's just not gonna cut it. So, and we've come to the point now where we're here. It's SEC play in 5 days, so we got one more game tomorrow. But and I tell you what, Mississippi State, if we don't play better, Mississippi State's gonna run us out of our own ballpark. Even though we've had their number, they're very good. They just won 26-0 yesterday. So we've got to come. We got to perform. And maybe it's one of them things where this team is gonna, when the bright lights are on and they're facing the higher competition, they're gonna bring it.
They show up,
We'll see. So, and maybe it's one of them things where when we face pitchers with higher velocity, we're going to perform better too. So maybe it's just one of the things we can't hit soft throwing guys.
Well, I was about to say, that's the weird thing over the past few seasons. You noticed when Arkansas seems to struggle when you have teams that come in and they have guys that throw mid to low 80s.
Yeah.
They're all either, swinging at super early or swinging super late. And,
right.
It throws off your rhythm. And to your point, maybe you get back to seeing that higher velocity, that higher speed. And, you're back in rhythm to what you're used to seeing. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, we got one more game against Stetson tomorrow to round out this 4-game series, and then conference play will be here. But to your point, I looked at the stats after today's game. Pompey's still hitting over 200, but barely at 205. And then you've got Souza at 192 and Brumbaugh at 156.
Yeah, it's not good. And shockingly, we have not hit a home run all weekend. I can't believe it. Like, how is that even possible? I will say it's nice seeing us score runs without hitting. It's nice, yeah. I mean, we had scored 50 runs in the last 5 games before today. So, I mean, we have been, we haven't had the breakout game where we just dominate and just hit all over the field. But, I mean, we're producing. And then today it just wasn't good.
Yeah. And your guy, Zach Stewart, like I mentioned, having to sit out today and tomorrow, but getting him ready for conference play. He'll be big because, with the 9 games under his belt, I know we talked about it on Thursday before this series started. He's sitting at hitting 423 right now with 11 hits, 1 double, 3 home runs, and 6 RBIs, and is slugging at an 808 percentage. So.
Yeah, that's huge. And Micah New is over 300 now in the season because he's been playing really good lately. And I wish we could move him up in the lineup, but I feel like he's not going to because of how bad the bottom of the order is.
Right. I was about to say, once you drop down that order, like Robinette's dropped under 300. He's hitting 291 right now. But once you hit about 7, 8, 9. For at least right now, until proven otherwise, it's for all intents and purposes almost automatic outs once you drop down to that 7, 8, 9 hitter. So
they pretty much
they're drawing a walk, they're not hitting the ball.
And even prime example, Brumbaugh came up trying to put a bunt down, pulled the bat back on a pitch down the middle, took strike 1. Next pitch, he took strike 2. Like, you can't even get the simple things done to move a runner over. It's just not, you can't have that happen, especially if you're not hitting the ball well. it's just not. It's not good right now.
Right. And I was going to say, even though defensively your glove's doing well, I mean, today might just have been a weird day for him. But even then, at some point, if you can't, like to your point, if you can't do these simple things, put down a bunt to move runners over, you're going to need offense in games, and Dave's going to have no choice to have to sub you out. Like,
yeah, and I was thinking about this too. We had that transfer commit from Ball State, and then we didn't think he was going to get drafted, the shortstop, and then he got drafted. I think he hit like almost 400 last year at Ball State. Then he got drafted, and I think that's probably the situation now that we're in with having a freshman play. I mean, if we would have gotten him out of the portal, it would have changed a lot of things. Right. Well, I mean, we got him out of the portal. He just got drafted and
right.
So yeah.
Well, and that's the other thing too. Thinking about this lineup, it's like if his bat was a little bit better, you'd probably see Pompey get some more action at short. But it's not like his bat's that much better right now. So
no, it's not.
So it's like
you can say the same about Souza too. But all three of them are really in the same category when it comes to swinging at bad pitches, not hitting the ball the other way. They're just not. I mean, Souza swung at a pitch that almost hit him today on a 2-0 count. I mean, you just can't do that.
Right. And I think it's weird for a lot of Arkansas fans too to see how spoiled we've been with shortstops. Like for this year to,
not just that, third base and short. That whole you imagine the people that were complaining about Iredale last year. I mean, boy, I know they wish they had him back. I mean, and then even Spraglot before him was great out there too. So yeah, we've been spoiled. Jalen Battles to Wahiva Aloy, and that we need. I wish we had one of those this year.
Right, and maybe one of these at one point, one of these guys is gonna have to step up. They've got to. Because you're going to see guys, that's what you're seeing right now. Dave's doing. You're getting different guys in the lineup to see who's going to come out and be able to perform. Yeah. And you're running out of time. You got one more game this week, and then conference plays here next weekend. So,
well, you got to really win tomorrow to feel good about yourself, because you would like to see 13-4 going in SEC play and not 12-5. I mean, 13-4 definitely sounds a lot better than 12-5. Heading to play a team that I would just be happy to get a series win. We're definitely not sweeping them. I can promise you that. But I could feel like we can get one with our pitching, and then we got to play really good to get two. Because they are – the thing about Mississippi State, they've only lost 2 games, and they've been to 2 top 10 teams. One was the number 1 team in the nation, and the other one was Southern Miss, who's number 10. And they both lost both of them games by 1 run. So they're in it. They can pitch, they can hit, and they can field. And that's another thing about us, our fielding. Our fielding is not up to par to where we normally are. We got Lloyd dropping balls and right, shortstop Mason Mares today. Even Pompey made an error I think yesterday. It's just not. We got to do better all around.
Yeah. If you had to guess, who gets the start at short tomorrow, Pompey or Brumbaugh?
Or I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be Pompey. I think it's going to be Pompey. I think I don't know. I think Pompey may have the edge right now based on his ability to hit the ball out of the ballpark. But Brumbaugh hasn't really shown
hardly anything.
Really not. So. And I think Souza's going to be stuck at third for now. I don't know. I wish we had another infielder with depth-wise, but it doesn't look like we have that. So that we're stuck with this. So they're going to have to turn it around. It's not like we can go out and trade for somebody or sign somebody. These guys are going to have to turn the corner, but they're going to be facing a lot more better pitching than they're facing now going forward. So.
Right. It almost wish you didn't have that injury, even though he was going to be slated to start in the outfield. But, here's where you hate to see an injury like to Brenton Clark. It's another guy that you could
who knows? Around. Brenton Clark could have been in right field, and Robinette could have been at third, and then Zach Stewart at first base. I mean, it could have changed a lot of things.
Yeah. So we'll see what tomorrow holds. Arkansas's game tomorrow going to be a little bit earlier one to round out the series as they'll get going at 12 o'clock tomorrow. It'll be on SEC Network Plus. And then next Friday night at 6 o'clock, conference play starts. Mississippi State's coming to town, so 6 o'clock on Friday, 1 o'clock on Saturday, and 2 o'clock on Sunday for the opening weekend. And speaking of conference play, Arkansas softball got conference play going this weekend as they're a week ahead of baseball. And, they finished up their series with Georgia today, winning the series, coming back from, opening the series on Friday with a 7-2 loss against Georgia. Georgia's pitcher on Friday just went the full game. We kind of made it tough on Arkansas. 124 pitches thrown for them. Arkansas only had 6 hits on the day, producing 2 runs compared to you look at Georgia having 12 hits to score 7 runs on Friday. Robin Herron, not her best outing, 2 1/3 for her, 6 hits, 6 runs, 5 of those being earned, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts for her. And then you had Sailor Timmerman finish out the final 4 2/3, 6 hits for her, 1 run scored, it being earned, 2 walks on 70 pitches. Just not a great day. Really, Ella McDowell, the only one that had a decent day at the plate on Friday night for softball. She went 3 for 3, scored a run, scored 2 RBIs, and also drew a walk. And so, Arkansas definitely bounced back and, started conference play with a series win. Close game last night, getting the win 7-6. You had Cam Harrison get the start for Arkansas in the circle, 2 1/3 for her, 5 hits allowed, 4 runs, 4 of them, all 4 earned. Faced 13 batters, 53 pitches for her. Peyton Burnham comes in for 4 1/3, 5 hits, 2 runs, and both those being earned for her. 1 strikeout, faced 17 batters on 55 pitches. Robin Herron comes in the final third for the save to secure this victory to force the rubber match today. In the game yesterday, Tiana Bell, first base replacement for Bree Ellis, who, fun fact, was at the games this weekend for Arkansas softball. Tiana Bell yesterday, 2 of 4 at the plate, 1 run scored, 4 RBIs, thanks to a home run for her. And then you had Italia Rijo, 1 for 3, scored a run, had an RBI, also drew a walk. So, and then the big action today is Arkansas wins 6-0 today to secure the series. And that was all thanks to a big-time grand slam from Ella McDowell today to kind of put Arkansas ahead 5-0, and they never looked back after this one. Pitching today, Robin Herron got the start in the circle today, goes all 7 today. More traditional Robin Herron, what you're used to seeing. 3 hits allowed, 3 walks, 10 strikeouts for her, 28 batters faced, 119 pitches. And as I mentioned, all the girls getting it going at the plate today. You had Reagan Johnson 1 for 4 with a run scored. Brinley Bain, the freshman that is your designated hitter for this softball team, 1 for 3, 2 runs scored. And then, of course, Ella McDowell, the one that, put Arkansas on top and never looked back today, went 1 for 4 at the plate, but that one was a big one with that grand slam, scoring 4 RBIs and scoring a run. Tiana Bell, 3 for 4 at the plate today, 1 run scored, 2 RBIs. She also hit a home run as well that initially put Arkansas in the lead to start the game. And then Italia Rijo, 2 for 3 at the plate today, and Kennedy Miller, 1 for 3. So Arkansas opens conference play with a series victory, and, good to see them be able to bounce back here. And, SEC softball is very competitive this year, and it's going to be, very similar to baseball. Every series is going to be a tough one. They got a midweek this week against Missouri State on the road, and then they have to head to Tuscaloosa but sitting at a 21-2 record on the season, open conference play 2-1. I'll take it. Courtney Dyfel has, got this program in a good spot, and it's gonna be fun to watch them the rest of the season. So, a little update. So, gymnastics meet did not go Arkansas's favor on Friday night. A little bit of the weather issues too, but didn't get the victory over number 1 Oklahoma. Didn't set the national record, but they did set a record. They set the SEC attendance record. I know the national record was 16,019. We set the SEC record with over 15,000.
Who has the national record?
Utah, when they hosted Michigan a few years back.
Okay. Well, they ain't got much to do up there, so.
So, we'll probably try again next year if I had to guess. But, to come out and set the SEC record on a Friday night where there was bad weather and stuff like that going in town, I feel confident saying if there wasn't a weather issue, you probably break that record. But you had people leave early and also end up not making it out, just trying to be safe with the weather. Don't blame them there, but
that was me. We didn't make it out because of the weather.
Way to go, Zane.
I know. Hey, at least we weren't like 2 people shy. Then I'd feel really bad. Don't laugh.
No, it would have been funny if we were 2 people shy. You didn't make it.
Oh, but so now gymnastics season wrapped up. Not this next weekend, but the weekend after next, they will be in Oklahoma City for the SEC tournament for gymnastics. That'll get going in a couple weekends. You've got selection Sunday, next Sunday, conference play, getting started for baseball next weekend. A lot going on. It's getting busy, and
it's the most wonderful time of the year, March Madness.
I'll let you and Hawgs have that discussion later.
Sorry, for me, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
You said something
earlier.
You
discredit that it's also my wife's birthday.
We're going to need Thomas to do something.
2 reasons.
You said something earlier about we're going to need Thomas to do something in March like that. And I'm like, it is March. He did it yesterday.
You know what? I think it's implied whenever you say that. It's a postseason. Okay? Didn't think I'd have to write that out as clearly, okay? Sorry.
A little bit of other, good news and talking about records. You have Coach Cal with his win on Saturday against Missouri, got his 900th win in his coaching career. So, congrats, Coach Cal. I'm glad Arkansas can contribute to the winnings total there, be part of that record. So, they had shirts and everything ready to go. That's how confident they were going to get the win even without Acuff. They already had those shirts ready to go. So, if you didn't see the video, fantastic stuff. To see them, getting soaked with water and everything, to celebrate Cal. So not to mention, you saw something similar when they celebrated his birthday earlier in the season. As my lovely wife pointed out, I'm glad that she mentioned it because I was going to forget. She said, "Are we doing a Hawgs on the Hill bracket challenge this year?" The answer is yes, we are. Ignore the comments between Zane and Hobb fighting in the comments section.
Child at heart, I can't say.
But it's going to be fun, so we'll be putting that out there. I'll get everything set up for that, and we'll push that out and be doing a bracket challenge for here Hawgs on the Hill. We'll have to come up with a fun prize for that, but my wife says, "Prepare to lose, guys. The win is mine this year."
Wow, you're only gonna highlight her comments? I see how it is.
Okay, then. So Zane said, "Well, we're doing the tournament." Hobb said, "Yes, and I'm going to win." Zane said that's false, and also that's funny. So there you go.
Oh man,
You got to do all of them, but okay. Zane's a child. Exhibit A through E.
But yes, so yeah, I know. Beginner's luck. That's all I'm going to say with that. I was like, hey, do you want to do a bracket? And she said, sure. And she was like, I read her off the teams, and she was like, what's the mascot? To be fair, she did well and even got the finals game right and was very close on the score. Her bracket was like in the high 90 percentiles. But yes, she did that based off picking the mascot. Throw your analytics out the window, Zane. Pick the mascots.
Fine. I'm going off. You know what? I'll think of something. I'll come up with the bracket off of some most random thing. I don't know. Maybe like crime rate of this university city. I don't know. I don't know what you want me to do.
She said she was only 1 point off. Transplant Texan, welcome to this madness that we're wrapping up the show with. In case you missed it, we're doing a Hawgs on the Hill bracket challenge like last year, and apparently everybody's going to win. So,
yeah, we're all supportive here. Okay,
we're all just going to have like a 3, 4, 5-way tie here. So,
we'll see. As long as you don't pick Miami, Ohio.
I hope everyone picks Miami, Ohio, except you in the first game, and they upset.
And they're going to lose by 30.
Zane says, just in spite of you, that's what he wants to have.
Yeah. Just in spite of you, I'm having Miami, Ohio go to the Final Four, okay?
Not everybody's bracket is Arkansas going to the Sweet 16 at least. And just throw your bracket away. You know, that's messed up.
Wow. Hey, Transplant Texas said can't do any worse than the Lenardi.
That's true.
But with that, we'll wrap up here. It's been a busy weekend, and we're about to get busier with March Madness and the tournament and everything getting here. As I said, Arkansas Stetson tomorrow. We'll finish up that series tomorrow at noon. No midweek for baseball this week as they had the 4-game series. So a weekish off for these guys as they get ready for conference play. Softball midweek game at Missouri State, and then they'll be on the road to Alabama next weekend. And then, of course, next Sunday is Selection Sunday. Conference tournament for basketball next week. Conference tournament starts on Wednesday. Arkansas will be playing Friday. We'll see who our opponent's going to be. It'll be either A&M, Oklahoma, or South Carolina. So yeah. I guess we've got a Missouri State fan in the comments, but
yeah, don't pay no attention to him. He's my friend. He's from Missouri. He don't know if he's a Missouri fan or Missouri State fan half the time. So
I was about to say there's going to be a rude awakening with introduction to Arkansas softball. So all the run roll victories, yeah. But anyway, with that, we're going to wrap up here. Anything other than the normal thing, Zane, Hobbs, you got anything?
Boo pig always, because I forgot to say it last time.
There you
Hobbs
go.
says baseball, just please win tomorrow.
Please.
So with that, we'll get wrapped up here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the show on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. That way you don't miss any time we go live. Be prepared. Next Sunday is going to be our big Selection Sunday show along with our Razor recap. So we'll have a lot to talk about as we're reacting to the Selection Sunday going on live and seeing where Arkansas is going to land. So with that, we're going to wrap up here. Everybody enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoon.
Would y'all rather play Thursday or Friday?
Are you talking about for conference tournament or March Madness?
First round of the March Madness.
Thursday. Yeah, Thursday, Saturday schedule.
I would just like us to play while I'm while I'm at work.
That's why I took off, so I could be.
I'd rather Thursday, Saturday. That way, at least opens the possibility for a BYU matchup because I would like to play them.
I would too because they've been struggling.
Mm-hmm.
A nice A-Cup DeBanza matchup there.
Yes, I think we have the athletes to compete there.
And
So
transplant makes a good point too.
that's true.
So-
That extra day helps.
He says more rest
Well,
for
if
A-Cup.
you were to make it, then you get. Grant, that's very optimistic thinking. If you were to somehow make it all, not somehow, if you were to make it all the way to the championship, you have 1 day extra rest for the Final Four game.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, we'll see.
we'll see.
So, as Transplant Texas said, like and share. Gotta love the sport
Appreciate
there. But as always, enjoy your Sunday afternoon conference tournament this week. It's going to be fun. We'll have all those updates for you on Thursday as we get to that. So everybody have a great Sunday afternoon. We'll see you back here on Thursday for our regular show, and we'll see you on Thursday. And everybody have a great rest of your weekend.